Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into something many of us think we know pretty well, coaching.
Hmm.
It's everywhere, right?
Yeah,
A big tool for self-development, hitting goals, navigating life stuff.
absolutely. We hear about it constantly. Executive coaching, life coaching.
Exactly. And most of us have a general idea, maybe even tried it. But as we were digging into the sources for this deep dive, we stumbled onto something, well, pretty surprising about where it all comes from.
Indeed. It's fascinating, isn't it, how this human drive for growth and figuring things out is just universal.
Right.
And the real kicker, I think, for many people will be finding out that this practice we see is so modern, actually has these incredibly deep, ancient roots. Roots that tie directly into core Buddhist ideas.
That really stopped me in my tracks. So that's our mission today, to explore how the basics of modern coaching line up almost perfectly sometimes with key Buddhist concepts.
We're talking about big ones.
Yeah, like the Four Noble Truths, that's Ariyasacca 4, and the Eightfold Path, Mega 8. And also this lovely idea of Kalyanamitra, basically, a wise friend or mentor figure.
A spiritual friend.
We want to unpack why these ancient teachings provide such a solid, timeless way to grow and solve problems. Maybe even a kind of shortcut to understanding yourself better.
And we're drawing on a mix of things here. Modern coaching definitions, sure, but also delving into Buddhist philosophy itself to, connect those dots for you.
Okay, so before we jump into those ancient connections, let's just quickly get on the same page about coaching as we understand it now.
Right.
Because, people might confuse it with therapy or consulting. What's the real core of it?
That's a great point. It's important to distinguish. So basically, coaching is a process where a guide, the coach, helps someone else, the coachee, unlock their own potential.
Their own potential, right?
Yes, to solve problems or reach goals they've set for themselves.
Yeah.
The key thing is the coach isn't telling them what to do. They're not giving advice or solutions.
Ah, okay. So not like a consultant saying do X, Y, Z.
Exactly not. Instead, they use specific techniques, mostly asking really good, open-ended questions to help the coachee find their own answers. It's
Yeah.
all about facilitating self-discovery.
Got it. So the coach is more like a facilitator, a thinking partner, helping you navigate your own mind, maybe?
A thinking partner is a great way to put it. And that whole process rests on a few key pillars.
Like what? What makes it work?
Well, first, those open-ended questions we mentioned. They're designed to make you think deeply, not just give a yes-no. Like, what possibilities open up if you look at this differently?
Okay. Makes you explore.
Then there's active listening, really tuning in not just to the words, but the feelings underneath, what's not being said. Listening to understand, not just to reply.
That sounds harder than it looks.
It takes practice.
Oh.
And third, building rapport.
Yeah.
You need that safe, trusting space for someone to be really honest,
Mm-hmm.
right? Vulnerable even.
Yeah.
And finally, it has to be coachee-centric. The whole conversation, the whole focus is on their needs, their goals. The coach's agenda doesn't come into it.
That's clear. It's all about empowering the person being coached. Now, lots of coaches use structured models, right? Like the GROW model. It seems pretty common.
It is. It's popular because it's simple and logical, provides a clear path for the conversation.
Can you walk us through GROW quickly? How does it, guide the process?
Sure. Trio Adoti is an acronym. G is for goal. This isn't just wishful thinking. The coach helps the coachee get crystal clear on what they really want. Specific, measurable, meaningful to them.
So defining the destination.
Exactly. What does success actually look like here? Then R is for reality. This is where you explore the current situation, honestly. What are the challenges? What resources do you have? What's really going on?
Taking stock.
Right. An objective look. What have you tried already? What's stopping you? Then O is for options. Once you understand the reality, you brainstorm. What could you do? All the possibilities, even the wild ones. Get creative.
Opening up the thinking.
Totally. What are all the different paths you could take? And finally, W is for will, or sometimes way forward. This is the action part. Okay, what are you actually going to do? Specific steps, commitment, timelines.
Making it concrete.
Yes. What's the very next step you'll take and when? That structure really helps build ownership because the coachee comes up with a plan.
Listening to that GROW model, it feels really logical, almost like common sense for tackling any problem. Has this kind of step-by-step approach shown up elsewhere, maybe in older traditions?
You're absolutely spot on. That intuition is key. This structure isn't just a modern invention. The parallel is actually incredibly striking when you look at the Four Noble Truths in Buddhism, the Ariyasacca 4.
Wow, really? The Four Noble Truths?
Yes, this ancient Buddhist framework for understanding and ending suffering, maps almost directly onto that modern coaching process. It's a really profound alignment in how humans approach solving problems.
Okay, that is fascinating. Let's break that down. How do the Four Noble Truths actually line up with, say, the GROW model or coaching in general?
Let's connect them. It's quite illuminating. First, you have dukkha, often translated as suffering, dissatisfaction, stress, basically the problem.
Right.
This lines up perfectly with the goal and reality stages in coaching. It's about first acknowledging there is a problem, defining it. You have to know suffering, as the texts say. Understand the issue before you can fix it. Just like a coach helps you name your pain point.
Right. You can't solve something you don't admit exists or understand. Makes sense. What's next?
Second is samudaya. This is the origin or the cause of the suffering, the cause of the problem.
Ah, the root cause.
Exactly. This links directly to the reality stage in coaching, but maybe goes even deeper. A good coach uses those probing questions to get past the symptoms to the real underlying causes. What beliefs or patterns are feeding this situation?
Getting to the why behind the what. Okay. Third.
Third is nirodha. This means the cessation, the stopping of suffering. It's the desired state. It's the goal in coaching terms, that clear vision of what life looks like when the problem is resolved. Freedom from the issue. Success.
So the positive vision, what you're aiming for.
Precisely. What would things look like if this challenge was gone? And finally, fourth is magga. This is the path, the way to achieve that cessation.
The solution part.
Exactly. It aligns perfectly with the options and will stages in coaching. It's the step-by-step action plan, the method, the practices you undertake to reach that goal, the how.
Wow. Laid out like that, the structure is, it's almost identical. It's not just a vague similarity.
It's really not.
And you mentioned this order, dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, magga. It's deliberate, isn't it? Not just a random list.
Oh, absolutely not accidental. There's a deep logic there. Think about it like a doctor.
Okay.
First, identify the illness, dukkha. Then diagnose its cause, samudaya. Then envision what full health looks like, nirodha. And finally, prescribe the treatment, the path to get there, magga.
That's a great analogy.
It's a rational, systematic process for problem solving that's, well, thousands of years old, but still feels incredibly relevant. It validates the structure coaching uses today for lasting change. And crucially, it puts the power in your hands for profits. You discover your own path. You own the solution.
It's kind of mind-blowing that this ancient spiritual framework offers such a direct, practical approach for, well, your everyday stuff, whether it's work stress or relationship issues.
It really does.
So Ariyasacca 4 gives us this amazing map for what to do, understand the problem, find the cause, envision the goal, find the path. But what about the how? Like the actual skills you need to walk that path to make the changes stick.
That's the perfect next question. Because the framework is one thing, but actually doing it requires certain, let's call them skills or qualities. And that's where the eightfold path, MAGA 8, comes in.
Ah, okay. So MAGA 8 is like the toolkit for the journey.
Exactly. If Ariyasacca 4 is the map, MAGA 8 provides the navigational skills, the mental disciplines, the ethical guidelines you need. These aren't just abstract concepts. They're practical tools for wisdom, conduct, and focus.
Okay, let's connect some of those. How do the elements of the eightfold path relate to coaching or self-development?
Let's look at a few. You have Samadhi, right view, and Samasankappa, right intention. These are about seeing things clearly, understanding reality correctly without your usual biases clouding things, and having positive, constructive intentions.
That sounds like the starting point for any coaching, right? Getting clear on the situation and your goal.
Absolutely. A coach helps you cut through the noise, see the problem objectively. Then there's Samavaka, right speech, and Samakamanta, right action. Basically, communicating appropriately and acting ethically.
How does that fit coaching?
Well, for the coach, it's about non-judgmental language, asking supportive questions. For the coachee, it's about committing to actions that are helpful, not harmful, and aligned with their values.
Okay. And samajiva, right livelihood, making a living ethically.
Yes, it's about ensuring your work and how you live aligns with your core values. That often comes up in coaching, helping people find work that feels meaningful and doesn't compromise their integrity.
That makes sense. What about samavayama, right effort?
This one's crucial. It's about persistent, dedicated effort. Not just a big burst of energy at the start, but that steady, ongoing commitment.
Like sticking with a new habit.
Exactly like that. You know how initial motivation fades? Right effort is about showing up anyway, day after day, recognizing that real change takes consistent practice. It's the perseverance needed in any coaching process.
Yeah, that follow-through is key.
Then samasati, right? Mindfulness. This is huge. Being aware, present, noticing your thoughts, feelings, actions without immediately judging them.
Mindfulness is everywhere now.
It is, and for good reason. Coaching really aims to build this skill, helping you become aware of your own patterns so you can make conscious choices instead of just reacting automatically.
And the last one, samasamadhi, right concentration.
Right. Concentration. This is about developing focus, the ability to stay centered on your goals and the path, despite all the distractions life throws at you, channeling your energy effectively.
So these aren't just like lofty spiritual goals. They're actual mental and behavioral tools you can develop to help you succeed on your own path.
Precisely. It's an incredibly practical, comprehensive skill set for navigating life and growth. It helps build that inner resilience and clarity.
And thinking about right effort and mindfulness, it really highlights that this isn't a one-and-done thing, is it? You set a goal, make a plan using the Eightfold Path skills, but life happens. New challenges pop up.
Exactly right. That brings up a really important point. Both Ariyasacca 4 and Magga 8 describe an ongoing process. It's learning, it's self-development. It's not like you reach some finish line and you're suddenly fixed.
So the Magga, the path, isn't a single trip.
No, it's iterative. It's a cycle. You apply what you've decided, your plan, your MAGA. You see what happens. You reflect on it using samasati, mindfulness. You adjust your approach based on that reflection, and then you try again. You keep repeating that loop, getting closer to nirodha, your goal, each time.
Can you give a quick example how that cycle might look?
Sure. Let's say someone wants to be less reactive in arguments. Their goal, nirodha, is calmer communication. They realize their reactivity, dukkha, stems from feeling unheard, samudaya. Their plan, magga, might involve practicing pausing before responding, using right effort and mindfulness.
Okay.
After an argument, they reflect. Did I pause? What happened when I did or didn't? Maybe they noticed they paused, but still felt overwhelmed. So they adjust their magga. Maybe next time they'll also try taking a deep breath during the pause or excusing themselves for a moment. Then they try that, reflect again. It's that constant loop. Apply, reflect, adjust, apply again.
That makes the iterative part really clear. And it sounds exactly like why ongoing coaching sessions are so helpful, right? Not just a one-off strategy session.
Exactly. Because when you go out and try your plan, your MAGA stuff happens. Unexpected obstacles, things don't go as planned.
Always.
So those regular check-ins with a coach are crucial. They provide support, help you see what's really happening, adjust the plan based on reality, and importantly, keep the momentum going. It's like checking your map and compass on a long hike. You need to recalibrate.
Yeah, that guidance keeps you on track or helps you find a new track if needed. It really drives home that growth is a journey, not just flipping a switch. And having that guide seems vital.
It does, which leads perfectly to the next question.
Right. So Buddhism gives us this amazing framework, Ariyasacca 4, and this great skill set, Magga 8. Do we actually still need a guide? Can't we just use these tools ourselves?
That's the logical question, isn't it? And the answer from the Buddhist tradition is a resounding yes. A guide is still incredibly important, essential even. And that guide is called a Kalyanamitra.
Kalyanamitra, you mentioned that earlier. Is it just like a good buddy?
It's much more than that. Think wise companion or spiritual friend. It's someone who's a bit further along the path, who embodies the qualities you're trying to cultivate.
Okay.
They offer guidance on understanding the teachings, encouragement when things get tough, because they always do, and maybe most importantly, honest, constructive feedback on your blind spots. Things you can't see yourself. Very much like a really good coach.
A trusted advisor who has your best interests at heart.
Exactly. Someone who keeps you pointed towards growth.
I remember hearing a story about the Buddha himself saying something really powerful about this, about the importance of such friends.
Ah, yes, the story with Ananda, it's incredibly profound. Ananda, who was the Buddha's loyal attendant, said something like, wow, having good friends, good companions like this, it must be half of the spiritual life.
Seems reasonable.
But the Buddha corrected him, gently but firmly. He said, Ananda, don't say that. Having Kalyanamitra, good spiritual friends, this is the entirety of the holy life itself.
The entirety.
Yeah.
Not just half. That's huge.
It's an extraordinary statement. It highlights just how crucial that supportive, wise relationship is. It's not just a nice to have, it's fundamental to making progress, especially on a challenging path like spiritual development or deep personal growth. Our growth doesn't happen in a vacuum.
So the entirety of the holy life, that really emphasizes the weight of it. Were there examples back then? How did this work in practice?
Well, the Buddha himself was the ultimate Kalyanamitra, wasn't he? Guiding countless people.
True.
But you also see figures like Sariputta and Moggallana, his chief disciples. They were close friends who supported and challenged each other's understanding. Or even the story of how Sariputta was first set on the path by a brief, insightful verse from the monk Assaji.
Ah, so it could be a teacher, a peer, even a momentary interaction.
It can take different forms, but the function is similar. Guidance, helping you understand, encouragement, keeping you motivated, and that crucial reflection, holding up a mirror gently so you can see where you need to adjust. It really makes you think about who plays that role or could play that role in your own journey.
Okay, so if having a Kalyanamita is basically essential for growth, according to this wisdom, how do we find one today in our busy modern world? It feels like finding a truly wise guide isn't exactly easy.
That's a really practical and important question. And interestingly, the advice often starts with looking inward first.
How so?
There's a Thai monk, Venerable Kritsana Nimalo, who put it beautifully, be your own good friend, able to warn yourself.
Be your own Kalyanamita first.
In a way, yes. Develop that self-awareness. Be honest with yourself. Cultivate the willingness to receive guidance and the perseverance to act on it. You need to be fertile ground, so to speak, because often, like attracts like. People serious about growth tend to find each other.
That makes a lot of sense. You have to be ready for that kind of relationship. Okay, so once you've done some of that inner work, what are some actual steps you can take?
Well, one obvious path is actively seeking teachers and mentors. This could be formally, like finding respected Buddhist teachers, monks, nuns, lay leaders.
Through temples or centers?
Yes, or even online now. There are so many talks, courses, podcasts, people whose wisdom resonates with you and who offer structured guidance.
Okay, seeking out expertise.
Another way is joining communities, getting involved with groups where people share similar values and goals, like Dharma study groups, meditation groups, volunteer organizations.
Or even maybe secular groups focused on growth, like coaching circles or workshops.
Absolutely. Anywhere you find people genuinely committed to self-improvement and supporting each other. That shared intention creates fertile ground for Kalyanamita relationships to form.
Finding your tribe, in a sense.
Exactly. And related to that is just cultivating openness and mindfulness in your daily life. Your Kalyanamita might not be a formal teacher. It could be a colleague who gives you insightful feedback, a wise older relative, a friend who consistently challenges you to be better. Be open to seeing that potential guidance where it appears.
So not being too rigid about what it looks like.
Right. And finally, it helps to know what qualities to look for. The Buddha actually listed 7 qualities. Things like being lovable, respectable, patient, able to explain profound things clearly, and crucially, someone who won't lead you down a harmful path. Look for integrity, wisdom, compassion.
Okay, so it's less about a frantic search and more about cultivating yourself and being open, observant, and ready to connect with people who genuinely uplift you on your path.
Precisely. It's about creating the conditions, both within yourself and in your environment, for those supportive guiding relationships to emerge and flourish.
This has been quite a journey. We've seen these incredible deep connections between something as modern seeming as coaching and these ancient Buddhist pillars. Ariyasacca 4 mirroring the problem-solving process, Magga 8 providing the skills for the path, and this vital concept of Kalyanamita, the indispensable wise guide. It really shows coaching isn't just a trend. It taps into something fundamental about human growth.
It really does. It's like rediscovering timeless wisdom about guidance and self-development, just packaged in a contemporary way sometimes. A testament to how universal the quest for well-being is.
So as you go back to your day, thinking about your own challenges, your own goals, here's something to maybe just sit with. If a philosophy from 2,500 years ago aligns so closely with our best modern methods for personal growth, what other ancient insights might be out there just waiting to shift your perspective on life and how you navigate it?